What's good, YouTube? Quinn Wade basketball analysis coming to y'all with a quick video. Today we're going to talk about the Milwaukee Bucks. They have made some moves acquiring Eric Bledsoe, getting back Big Jabari Parker, getting rid of Greg Monroe, signing Shabazz Napier, getting Brandon Jennings to help them. Malcolm Brogdon should be healthy in the playoffs because to me they're going to be a lock. And you also have um everybody playing like Jason Terry coming back and stuff like that. But let's be real. Like I said, I've been going to a lot more Bucks games because they are better, and Giannis is worth the ticket. No matter what team you watch, no matter what team comes to town, you'll just go there to see what Giannis is gonna do next. He's that dominant. He's that good. He's a two-way player. He plays with a lot of heart, a lot of passion, and he's always going in attack mode, whether it's defensively or offensively. But let's be real. People kept saying, just like I said about the Karl Anthony Town video, the top 25 under 25. People kept saying Giannis is a top. I know Bill Simmons and a lot of people that were saying Giannis is a top 5 player. I live in Milwaukee. I go to Bucks games, and I can't say Giannis is a top 10. I mean, he's a top 10 player, but he's definitely not a top 5 player. You got LeBron, you got KD, you got Steph, you got AD, you got Harden, you got Chris Paul. You have a lot of players that have proven and done more than Giannis. Giannis has yet to win a playoff series also. And, to have all the talent that they have the ball handlers in Jabari, in Bledsoe, in Giannis. And you have the shooters in Snell, Chris Middleton, and Jason Terry. You have some shooters. Thon McCarr. You have some size with Zeller, some athleticism with John Henson. You have a lot of weapons on this team, and I told you guys the NBA is at its deepest that I ever seen, just personally. And it leaves you to wonder a little bit why this Bucks team ain't winning more. I talked to some people at work, and they feel like the Bucks have underachieved. You look at a team like the Anthony Davis without DeMarcus Cousins, and the fact that he's in the Western Conference and people put Giannis over him, but he's in the Western Conference arguably with less talent with a significantly better record. Like the Bucks haven't even won 40 games yet, let alone they might just barely be over 40 at the end of the season, and they're in the East. People keep saying LeBron is a cakewalk. You got teams like the Bulls, the teams like the Hawks. You also have teams like the Pistons that had a shot and they blew it because they couldn't win enough games. Even the Hornets, they technically not mathematically eliminated, but they will have to not lose any games, and the Bucks will literally have to lose every game for them to realistically make it. And that's just how weak the East is. And then you consider that Giannis is one of the top 10 players in the league, and he barely, every season that he made it to playoff, they barely been over 40 wins. They haven't really been a dominant team. They haven't really been an unguardable team. And even when they use the defense that Jason Kidd designed, where he's trying to get lone, lanky players to play in the passing lanes, give up threes because you can rotate, clog up the paint. Nothing has worked. And I know you want to have, if you have a top 10 player, you want to do anything to keep him. I feel like they have done that. I feel like they have made trades. They have signed players. They have changed coaching. They got a new arena coming up here in Milwaukee. And you ask yourself, why is this team on paper, it looks good, but why hasn't this team been winning? And, Giannis is averaging 20 and 10. He's efficient from the field. He scores. He added a little bit of jump shot. It's better than it was before. He has his little post up fadeaway. He has his floaters. He has become a more well-rounded, more versatile scorer than he was last year. Last year obviously was his breakout year, allowing him to be an all-star and an all-NBA team player last year. This season he built upon that, averaging more points, more rebounds, and being efficient from the field while still, being the known best player in the team. And now everybody knows he's on the map. Everybody knows who Giannis is. He's a global player. He's almost at that superstar level. But this is another thing that's sad. The Bucks are the 8th seed. And it looks like they're going to either be 7th or 8th, the pace that they're at. and they're going to have to go against a team like Toronto. I don't know if you guys noticed, but last year Toronto put out the Bucks, and Toronto was skeptical. We didn't think they was going to be that good. We thought they was going to. I even picked the Bucks to go 7 in that series, even though it went 6, and Toronto was able to close it out in 6. And you look at it this year, you look like, honestly, as a person that seen how good they played last year, I thought that anything other than getting a top 4 seed and getting out of the first round was a failure for the Bucks, because they already made it to the playoffs. They already won a playoff game. They already won 2 playoff games, and Giannis is only getting better. He's getting smarter. He's learning the game. He's learning how to dominate. He's learning when to take turns. He's learning when to be a teammate and when to be a superstar. And I thought that that'd take them to the next level. Not only that, getting a better bench, getting Bledsoe, having Chris Middleton and Jabari Parker healthy at the same time, the sky was the limit for this team. And then you look at it, we all basically going to pick this team to be a first round exit, which is something I deem as a failure for this team. And then you think about it, you have Giannis putting up career high numbers, and they still barely going to win over 40 games and still be a first round exit. That is a failure for this Milwaukee Bucks team if they don't get out of the first round. And it looks like it's obvious that they won't be getting a top 4 seed either, which to me was deemed a failure, because as an NBA guy that watch all the teams, and I'm a hardcore, I listen to basketball damn near at work. I would listen to it when I'm off work. I listen to it all day on my off day, gaining knowledge so I can give you guys great videos. I feel like if you're going to say Giannis is the best top 25, under 25 player, you expect more team success than what he has had with the Bucks, and especially when you put into context that he is in the Western Conference, and he's still barely winning 40 wins with talent. They have the ball handlers, they have the shooters, they have the superstar, they have a go-to player, they got a guy that can take over, he has a point guard that can defend the position, he has the wings, he has the defender at the wing, which is Chris Middleton. They can go long, they can go small, they can even put Giannis at the 5, they can even just put Henson at the 5 and play long and lanky. They have all the rotation, they have the versatility, they have everything you need, and they still barely made any progress over the last 3 years, because we felt like Giannis was coming 2 years ago. He came last year, and then you come up this year, you expect the expectation is even higher. And I'm not putting that on the Bucks, but even the organization saying own the future, but they haven't really made no progress in the last 4 years, other than changing the roster and the development of Giannis and Chris Middleton and those guys. But it hasn't added up to wins. And if we're going to base these players off being great, being dominant, winning is a big part of the game, and they've been good enough to make it, but they haven't been a dominant, look at us, we're taking over, we're young, this is our time. They haven't been able to do that, and it starts to wonder. 3 years ago we said this Bucks team gonna be tough. 3 years later, they still are first round exit, it looks like, and that's rather if they play Boston or Toronto or even Cleveland. I wouldn't pick them to win any of those series. I think the best series for them would be the Boston series, because they are beat up and they are injured. But even that's going to be a tough series for them to win. And I don't think they'd be the favorites going into that series, even though that's a good matchup for them. I wouldn't be looking forward to picking them to win that series. And I'm a Celtics fan anyway, so I'd rather have the Celtics win than have the Bucks win, because I'm a Celtics fan. But I feel like this season has been a disappointment. I feel like they could have done better. They should have been better. You can say that Jabari Parker missed some time, Malcolm Brogdon missed some time, but you look at the way Giannis started off the season, averaging over 30 points a game for 2 months. People was putting him as the MVP or MVP candidate early, and now you hear LeBron, you hear Lillard, you hear James Harden as the runner. You don't hear Giannis anymore. And that's the sad part about it. For him to be so dominant in the beginning, for him to be virtually unguardable, and then now he's a guy that don't even get mentioned for the MVP race, shows you that, you can't really put him as a top 5 player, because majority of the people that has a top 5 player are winning. KD, Steph, Harden, Chris Paul, Anthony Davis, even DeMarcus Cousins is another guy. Russell Westbrook, you have Jimmy Butler, Paul George, Karl-Anthony Towns. A lot of these teams are winning, and a lot of them players are in a harder conference. And at the end of the day, it's sad to see this Bucks team underachieve. I don't know if we can keep giving them the title of the future when you have a team like the Celtics, when you have teams like the Wizards, you have teams like the Sixers and Indiana. They're all one big piece away. The Sixers just development away from taking over the East. So it looked like the future would be the Bucks, but now you're starting to see that a lot of teams have caught up. A lot of teams have youth, and that's just in the East. I'm not even counting the teams in the West. In the East, they might not even be the best projected team in the East because you have the Sixers and you have the Celtics and you still have the Raptors. So even in 2-3 years, I can't say, oh, the Bucks, they'd be the best team in the East. We said that 3 years ago, and they looked like that first round exit. Now 3 years later, it looks like teams are already looking better than them. And this is the first year Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons been together, and they already clinched the playoff spot. They look like they on pace for 48 to 50 wins, and this is just their first season together. And Joel Embiid missed a lot of games, so I'm gonna be optimistic. I'm gonna be fair. I'm gonna look at it from different perspectives. But honestly, I projected the Bucks to be better than this, and we can't keep giving them credit until they actually perform. Like just like people say about the Rockets and the Raptors, until they do it, we can't pick them. So until the Bucks prove that they're here, they're dominant, they're the best team in the East for the future, we can't keep giving them credit that they haven't earned, they haven't deserved, until they talk the talk, walk the walk, and back it up. And until then, we can start giving them what they deserve, which is more credit. But right now, they have not lived up to expectations. Let me know what you guys think about the Milwaukee Bucks. This Quinn Wade basketball knowledge. So I'm going. Check out my website, knowledgeplayground.com. Link in the description, comment section below. Check out my Facebook page, knowledgeplayground.com. Link in the description in the comment section below. And I'm going. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below.